Hello and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. Today we are live. I'm Dane Hennen. That's Levi Gates.
Oh, what's up, Dane?
And that's Anthony Fisher.
Yes, it is, Dane. Thank you very much.
So, hey, we got to introduce this like a show. Make it feel like a show.
That's right.
Give them
That's right.
the show
Right.
I think
vibes.
it is
And that's
a
what we're
show.
here to do. But we're also here to talk about our weekends, do a little housekeeping.
I like it.
What's going on in the studio today?
Well, this is a quiet week.
Yeah,
For
actually,
us.
Thank
after
God.
last
Thank
week,
God
last
we've
week
had
was
a-
the opposite of quiet. So.
Last week
The
was
last
very
2 weeks have been
two
pretty
weeks
crazy.
technically have
Little
been
bit of
very
madness.
busy. So, needless to say, want to say thank you to Eric and Jay Bentley for showing up from G Technic.
Yep.
Want to say thanks to Keith and Rennie and Sydney for coming and hanging out with us at the beginning of the week, and then of course, can't forget Andrew and Jason.
Yep.
From Kosh showing up, hanging out with us.
Rounding out the week.
Exactly. So it was nice to have everybody here, but when we have everybody here, we tend to feel like it's a lot, you know.
Well, it's like being
because-
the host of a party, right?
Yeah,
You
kinda.
got to be on all the time, making
Yeah.
sure that people are taken care of. You got stuff going on, and you're not just letting things fall by the wayside. You got to keep all those plates spinning on.
That's right.
On
We,
the
I think
sticks
we
in the
gotta
air.
start being like those when you have sleepovers as a kid and you get so comfortable with having that particular friend over
Yeah.
that you say, okay, well, I'm gonna go do this, and they say, well, I thought we were hanging out, and you're like, no, just figure it out, do whatever you want to do, right? You can build Legos or you can go play some, GameCube, and I'm just gonna be over here reading a magazine,
Yeah.
and it's just hanging out.
Now,
That's
see,
what we
I
need to
like
do.
that. That's
Well, I
how
think
I'm
that's where
wired.
we
The lone
are
wolf
now.
thing, like, you're good, right? Good, cool.
But I
okay.
think
It's just
that
about
is-
being
go off and do your
in
own
the
thing.
presence of somebody.
But that's
else.
not being a good host.
But I do
either,
think that's
so.
where we are with
Yeah.
a lot of these folks, you know. But it's just the fact that when we get that many people here at once, it's hard to keep up on our emails. It's
Yeah.
hard to keep up on the normal work when we got to do something or do this. So
It's not their fault. We
We're
invited
finally,
them,
yeah. But we are at that point where you were able to work.
Yeah.
You didn't have to, hang out and spend some time with everybody the whole time. You were able to get
Yeah.
some of your work
I'm
done.
behind the
Anthony was
scenes.
able to make
Yeah.
some phone calls. I was able to do some stuff. So I think we're there.
Yeah.
But it is always nice to just kind of go, okay, let's get some work done this
Yeah.
week. And that's always fun. So
Well, and we do have some fun stuff we're doing today.
we do. We're doing a Wash Wednesday today.
Yeah,
which
first
we're
one we've
really
shot in a
excited.
little while.
We're hopefully going to have that ready just in time for St. Patrick's Day.
And it's a weird car. My
And
favorite.
and then we've got a new toy that Gabe picked up. That'll be fun. And we've just got our stuff that we need to do this week. So
Yeah. I got to
we're-
catch up on some emails. I got to check in with my Grand Ambassadors Q1
right.
of 2021. Feel bad because basically what we do.
Looks like they're all
So-
in the-
some of them are in
Some of them are in
already,
here. Thank
so-
God.
I
right? We
mean,
got
Lex is here in disguise. You can't see the
Yeah.
emoji, but he's got like
But,
a little
yeah,
funny
you got
face. on.
Alex there. You got
Alex.
I mean,
It's
that's-
Alex is in here too, but yeah, it's been so crazy. Normally I check in with them a lot more. It's just we create like a group chat where we keep it going all
Yeah,
the time.
keep
It's a
that
fun
party
group
going.
chat, but like we've been so busy here where I'm like, guys, I literally don't even check the Instagram.
Yeah.
In
That's how
that
it feels
particular group
sometimes.
chat, I have to answer the messages, and then I have to make the posts, and then we have to do everything else. And so
We promise we care. We just have a lot of response.
so I'm gonna have to jump in and then hit them up, and then who knows? I mean, I'm thinking maybe here in the next couple weeks we send them out something else.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
good, something new, something used, something blue.
that's how that
used
goes.
bottles
Well,
of
and-
rags to riches.
Yeah.
half empty.
that'll be nice. Like my mom used to do that. She used to send bags of half-eaten cereal to us and stuff. So
No Yoshi.
Yeah.
that was always good. So what did you guys do this weekend?
Mine's short and sweet. I'll go ahead and do
Go
mine.
for it,
'cause
Dane.
it's
Let's
not
hear what you got
anything
going
too
on.
crazy. So my weekend basically consisted of sampling a little bit more of what Meridian has to offer. Because I've lived there for a
delightful.
while.
What does that
and
even
Delightful.
mean? Why would you even
I-
word
Did you
that
check
like
out
that?
Did you
I've
check
lived
out
there
the Speedway
for some
or
time.
Did you guys check out Meridian Speedway? Did you?
So, you know what's
go
funny?
To the,
Sampling a little more of what Meridian
go down
has
to
to
the
offer.
Frontier
'Cause
Club?
G. Davis is going to use that line.
To the casual observer, they will see Meridian and they'll think, oh, this is like depending on how you look at it, you might see it as a bedroom community where tons and tons and tons of people live, but don't actually do anything because all the stuff they do happens in Boise or they go to Nampa or somewhere else.
I don't
Like
think they
Meridian
go to
is where
Nampa.
you leave to go somewhere else to do stuff.
You don't live in Meridian to go work in Nampa. Well, you probably do.
Some of them do.
There are
Probably
definitely
do.
some.
There
that
are
do.
some places out there, but
Yeah,
I'm just
but
saying.
maybe not for a good
the
time.
point-
not for a
right?
good time.
The
You don't
point
go to
being-
Nampa to party.
Meridian is generally known as a bedroom community. Their downtown leaves a lot to be desired.
Well, they don't have a downtown.
Poppin'.
Dane,
It's
it's
a
literally
block.
one street. It's one
It's
block.
one street, but it's one of those like cutesy small town streets where it has like some actual like
Yeah, so
nice little shop.
What's
here,
funny
a
is
little
when I
thrift
see
store
people
there.
walking
So
around
if you
downtown
guys-
Meridian,
yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing, man?
So if
Well-
you want to see some of beautiful downtown Meridian on the Hollywood screen, pick up Bronco Billy with
Oh
Clint,
my God, you're
Clint
right.
Eastwood.
Yeah.
And he wanders around downtown
Yeah.
Meridian. They pretend that it's
Goes to the
it's,
Hungry
the
Onion,
yeah, he goes to the Hungry Onion. He wanders around, goes by the bank there.
which went out of business during COVID, but then came back.
Yeah,
now.
So God bless the Hungry Onion. I've actually never eaten there.
I
Not
have.
once.
It is mixed bag. Sometimes it's like really great. Other times it's like, things are a little damp.
We used to go out to Meridian as a kid because there was a paintball warehouse, and abandoned. There's a lot of abandoned warehouses back in the day.
Out there, kind of
Out
near
in
the
Meridian.
rail yard. And
No,
all
it was
that.
downtown. It's still downtown. The
Well, downtown Meridian-
railroad tracks go right in
Yeah.
the middle of
That's
town.
what I'm saying is downtown Meridian. The
I
railroad
think
tracks
that
go
place
whoop
still
right
existed
under
until
there.
a couple of years
does.
ago. I think
But
it still
I remember
does.
we'd go in there. The place would be soaked in everything would be soaking wet in paint because there was so much paint on the walls from so many people going through every
no.
day. Like it was early 90s, and if you bumped a wall, you'd come out covered in paint. And then if you got shot, it was just like a big mess.
Don't
I
touch
remember-
the wrong thing. You might be
Oh.
taking it back home
Yeah,
with you. Yeah.
you couldn't. And they put just hay on the floor, so if you fell, you had wet paint on your back, and then like
And then
hay.
mildewy hay.
Oh, it was so gross. It was so gross.
Okay, so the thing about
But
Meridian
anyway, tell us
is,
what did you and Liz do? Did you go check out some bicycles?
It ended up
at,
being Liz actually had a lot of homework
Okay.
this weekend, so she's also a little leery about going out into public places still.
okay.
So I get it, but I figured it's Meridian, it's low key. So I
Yeah,
went
they
out
don't
there
have
with
a
my
mask
buddy
law,
with
so-
my buddy Brandon. He and I went out there and we just figured, okay, this is our Sunday. Let's just figure out something to do. He wanted to go snowboarding, and I had to talk him out of that because I'm in no shape to go snowboarding. And we all know what happened to me the last time I went snowboarding.
Double broken
So,
wrists.
Yeah, double broken wrists within 5 minutes of each other. Ask me what a fracture that turns into a break feels like. I'll just scream
And then
for you.
driving home.
Just down. I had to drive down the mountain afterwards. Ah! Yeah, the whole thing was bad. So, not great.
So sorry.
I learned my lesson.
Horrible time right
Very
there.
Dane
And I-
thing. I like that.
I'm a skier, not a snowboarder. I learned that day. But yeah, in Meridian, they've opened up some new restaurants recently. Like they're slowly starting to revitalize the downtown, which has always been kind of like, yeah, you're right, it's one street, but there's some good things going on. They're starting to build stuff up. It's getting maybe a little gentrified, but not overly so.
Well, I bought my bicycle from Meridian Cycles
like the
down
bicycle shops they
in
have,
the
they're
church.
I
nice.
think they closed.
Yeah. Well, the one in the church is
Yeah, the
still
one
there.
in the
Still
church.
there.
Yeah.
But then the one downtown also got turned into an art studio now. But yeah, no, some things have moved around. But no,
Very
they
nice.
opened up the sushi shack. That's
Yes.
really, really good.
No way.
It is
really?
actually, I like it better than Sakana. Yeah.
Dane, okay, well, that's not a high.
I know,
we're
that's not high
setting a
praise, but
bar
I'm
there.
saying I like
Okay,
it a
talk
lot
to me
better.
about. I need to know. So there's a couple of things that matter to me when it comes to a sushi,
Sushi
place,
shack.
right? Not at all the quality of the fish because we live in Idaho and we can't be.
You expect
we can't
a
be
certain
picky,
We
way.
right?
actually get good fish here.
Yeah.
Even though I
yes,
don't eat it, I know that we do get good fish
it's
here
okay.
because
It's
of
okay.
our proximity
Um,
to Seattle.
It
Yeah.
throws people off because they assume you're landlocked that you don't.
We're 8
But,
hours away.
yeah.
By the time that fish lands on the table, it's the same as it would. They process it so fast that
Yeah.
it would be the same as if you were eating it.
Yeah.
So-
so I don't know about
Yeah,
that,
okay.
but I also look for the price. That's a huge thing for me, right? And then like, what's the best bang for your buck in terms of like how many rolls? Or, am I getting for a certain price? Are they running any specials? Do they offer anything unique to this place?
What I like about it is their offerings were unique. They had several unique offerings. I guess they started as a food truck, and then this was their first foray into running a restaurant, like an actual brick and mortar. They're upstairs from the Heritage Hop House, which is downstairs, which was originally like the kind of, trying to remember the name of the place, but it was the cider house that they had and that kind of thing. But at any rate, you have the sushi restaurant that's upstairs. They have kind of a cool vibe. It's just recently been built out. The place has been empty for like the last decade, essentially. So anything's better than nothing. But My test was, okay, they also have a full bar in there. And I asked about the whiskey sour, and they asked me if I wanted egg white in it. And I said, yes, okay, you're that kind of place. And what they basically said is like, oh, you actually like, you care about that kind of thing. I go, oh, absolutely. And the bartender, she was like, oh, I'm really glad to hear that. We had like a whole debate about this like a week ago about egg whites and certain drinks and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's my judge of whether a place is good or not. If they're offering it, then I know that they're not using a mix, etc.
Yeah.
No, a little inside baseball, but that's my test. So yeah, she said that and was like, okay, great. But had the sushi, which was excellent, had called Heavy Metal. But it was basically like this very elaborate, I'll have to show you a picture later. It was really, really interesting to look at, but also delicious. So I looked at some of the other things on the menu, found that they had a pretty wide variety, but the part that stuck out to me the most was, in addition to their sushi menu and offering like tuna burgers and things like this, other interesting, stuff that was good, they also had the full offerings of the like food services of the bar down below. So you're able to get like a giant German pretzel with stone ground mustard and beer cheese sauce and all that stuff next to your sushi, which sounds like a really weird combination.
Sounds like a party for the two of you guys.
It sounds like a weird combination, but you know what?
That sounds exactly right up your alley.
Some people do Sunday brunch. Brandon and I just said, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to have this weird combination of food. And guess what? It was awesome. And I don't regret it one bit.
Wow.
So I'm happy with that. And Meridian is finally starting to kind of pick up the pace a little bit, and maybe they won't suck so hard in
quick question:
due time.
did they have sushi burritos?
I didn't.
I've been
check.
trying to find a place that will eventually. I've never had one. It's a dream of mine to have a sushi burrito.
I'll pull up the menu
they make fish
for you.
burritos and fish tacos.
No, it's not the same. I want a sushi burrito. That's like my dream. I want to eat like
one.
Because
it's just a sushi roll.
A mainstay for
hot
me.
Beans and rice and raw fish.
And I will say that
Sounds not the same.
that's disgusting.
Hot, white, sticky rice.
It's just an evolution of the fish taco. You go the burrito.
It's a tortilla, white steamed rice.
Yeah.
Right? And then whatever your choice, some tuna.
Yeah,
perhaps,
and
some
that
ahi.
and like avocado, and they'll throw whatever it is, and they wrap it up.
So
and
why doesn't Tony's Berries and Wings make sushi burritos?
Oh my god.
This
restaurant is becoming a monstrosity.
You need to tap the sushi skills of Josh here at the Rag Company.
Yeah.
And have him come over, teach you one night, and make some sushi tacos.
Beware that guy with some kitchen knives. He's just, bam.
Yeah.
Knocking it out.
So I would say, though, that in terms of burritos, on the topic of burrito, a burrito that I haven't had in a while, I was going to maybe see if you wanted that for lunch, Levi, is Fiesta Chicken. It's one of my favorite burritos.
Where's this at?
You haven't experienced Fiesta Chicken, but I think you would like it.
Okay.
And I'm just going to leave it at that.
All right.
So, Dane, tell us more about your weekend.
Well, that was pretty much the sum of it, because the rest of the time I spent actually getting a new wide monitor for my office setup.
Ooh.
Now, I got rid of the TV that I originally had sitting on top of my desk, which was huge, but at the same time, having a big monitor isn't the same thing as having a convenient monitor, because what I found a lot of times when I was sitting there, if you recall back last year in like April time when we were doing our Zoom calls and stuff, you'd see me like looking up because the webcam for the Zoom call was like way up on top of the TV.
Yeah.
But if I want to see the stuff I'm typing, it's way down there. It's just too much vertical space.
Right.
So I found a good deal at Costco for this wide monitor. It's like 34 inches wide, but it's very manageable height. So it's like, okay, I can deal with this, and I can have multiple windows open at the same time, which as an editor I need to do. I can have my timeline stretched out, which is cool. But I just basic stuff like that. Did a little bit more of the ceiling work. I bought a fan so I could kind of help push the air out of the room.
Fan or just a box fan?
No, I got a box fan. It's like
But
one
like
of those
a
Lasco
stand-up.
guys, pedestal style.
Okay, nice.
And I got it because I didn't want to be breathing in all those fumes, because I got tired of pinning the foam into
Went
the
to
ceiling.
3M.
My thumb
yourself
was
some-
screaming at me, and I'm like, I've got these bottles, these cans of 3M adhesive.
You went hard.
I'm just gonna
Gonna huff
do
some-
it. So
gonna
got
huff
the
some
fan
stuff
first to
and-
make sure I didn't just sit
Good.
in a cell and like
enjoy
start
it.
to go
Enjoy
insane.
it.
Did
Breathe
Liz
it in.
enjoy it as well?
But she
I'm sure
kept her door
Callie did
shut
as well. Everybody.
Or just ventilate that.
Callie?
weekend.
She's not moving. Oh, no, she's just deep
no.
in a deep sleep.
My dog is very tired. This is not good. No. So I shut the door, which looks like crazy town. Like, there's fumes coming out, the door's shut, and I
Yeah.
hear loud music playing. What's going on? No,
Yeah.
it's
You came
getting
out,
rid of the fumes. Yeah. So that was basically my
Nice.
weekend. It was just the
It
basic
was a
stuff.
nice, easy weekend.
I think I would have done more if not for the fact that I just felt physically tired from the week of doing the other stuff. So
I get it.
just getting a moment. Although I am excited to shoot a wash Wednesday today, so that'll be fun.
thing.
But yeah, that's enough about me. That's all that is. But what about you guys? What did you do?
Who wants to go?
I'll go. I'll just go really quick.
Okay.
So,
All right.
mine wasn't that crazy. I would say Friday night, we actually had a sim night here at the Rag
You
Company
guys did.
headquarters.
You were all setting up. I
Yes.
was getting out of here. You guys kept asking me to stay. I said, no thanks.
We were
Weirdos, you nerds.
So
I'm
we were
going
here-
home.
we were here for a little bit. I basically what happened was we waited too long to install the actual game and the drivers and everything that we needed for the setup. So we didn't actually start playing until 6:30.
Oh my gosh.
So
I am glad I did not stick around to
I
wait
know.
to take a
I
hot
know.
lap.
But Jimmy
mom
brought
showed
in
up.
his wheel. Seabass brought in his wheel. I did not bring mine in because it's a whole you know.
You have to bring
It's a whole thing.
you would have had to bring the truck.
Yeah, I would have had to, yeah. Dane didn't bring his, but we set up the other guys and we played on them, got to race around a little bit. And that was pretty much it. I mean, it was just 30 minutes of fun playing. Then I had to bounce. And so, say Friday night was actually pretty chill. Pelotoned, got some
nice.
miles in, right? 30 minutes on that bad boy. Really gets me going.
I'm
right?
glad you did that.
The downside is I need one of those phone mounts because on the Peloton you cannot watch whatever you technically want to watch and work out.
yeah.
You have to do what
Do
they
they're
want you
doing?
to do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get yelled at by middle-aged moms all
You
day.
need to
So
hop on Amazon, pick up a phone mount, and just hook it on the little handlebar there.
Yeah.
Be good
well,
to go.
it's just still hilarious because I'm still under Katie's account, right?
Yeah.
And so I get on these
So you're just dominating.
group rides. I am just crushing
no.
these people. And I'm basically what I'll do is I'll get in and I'll start off with a standing pump, right? I'll maximize the whatever it is, the resistance, and really start getting
Is
after
it
it.
Katie's height and weight in her profile?
I don't know, but it shows her age and everything like that. But
It's like whatever it is, I'm not saying it out loud right now.
dude, I just start.
They're like, this girl's a beast.
Dude, I start just pumping on this thing, and my
She's got the
RPMs
calves
are
of a
something
200-pound
crazy. And so there's people I'll start it off, and because you can high five each other. I've explained this before. I see this high five notifications of 20 notifications. I'm like, that's right, killing you people. I am literally
I'm sorry, a
crushing you.
231-pound male.
Yeah.
Just annihilating massive calves, just firing.
So it is always pretty fun to get in there and do that. It makes me feel good about myself. But no, I would say Saturday was crazy because Saturday started out really nice. The mornings was really nice, and then it just got cold, and it was just super cold and super windy. Had to take the dogs out to the groomer. Best thing about having a truck with no carpeting in it, all that hair, a little
blow it
blow-gun
out.
attachment.
It's not sticking anywhere.
That's it. That's all
Yeah.
I have to do on that truck. It's
Yeah.
the most amazing thing. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah,
I
vinyl seats.
It just, well, I get my ultra quiet air compressor, right? My Husky ultra silent, right? Pump that. I wish I had the sister
tank.
right?
It's the next option.
Because the thing is, it has a ton of power. It's just the tank's so small, it depletes really fast. But
This is why you can't buy a nicer truck.
I know, it is, especially when I have the dogs in it and they're licking the windows and their drools all over the seats. I'm kind of well, I'm really glad this isn't a brand new F-150 or a brand new Dodge Ram. That would be really hard.
Toyota Tacoma
for me to watch. Or
God forbid.
Toyota. Yeah. So
leather.
But no, I did that, and then I'm trying to think. I ran some other errands. I went out. I don't know what the heck I did. I did something else. But then Saturday night went out to. This is a fun one. Went out to Kyoto's, right? A hibachi place.
Yeah, I love Kyoto.
It's it's a nice little spot, family owned, right?
Yep.
Everybody that works there is one family, right? And so they basically it's a extended family of Japanese people.
Prom night palace.
And what they do is
I need to take my kids there. That's what I need to do.
I wonder how they choose who's going to be a chef when they're the kids, the person that does all the crazy stuff. I wonder how that works. And so, anyway, went there. It was Katie's younger sister's birthday. Good night. Put on quite the show. Guy did the whole egg cracking thing. What I was trying to do is trying to pick up on all of his techniques
so you can do it at home
for my hibachi
with your
grill at
hibachi.
home. And the thing is,
were you miming and practicing some of the
I was
stuff he
kind
was
of looking
doing?
at him. He was going ting 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 ting, right? And he was doing the thing with the egg and spinning it and cracking it.
Yeah.
And then he did this thing with the onions and made a little volcano. And I'm kind of looking at him really closely. I think I can do this stuff, right? I think I can do it.
Yeah.
The hard part is they have this thing, like this scraper thing that they're able to like crank everything off of that.
It's like a paint scraper.
I can't do that on the stovetop grill because I'm afraid it's gonna come off. Right?
Yeah.
Like they can put all that pressure down and really scrape it.
Mounted unit.
I know, and so that's the problem. So, needless to say, my hibachi grill setup, I've used it once, cleaned it once, and the thought of it is really good, right? I'm like, I want to use this thing, but it's so much work to clean.
So what you need to do is practice cutting some eggs, proper amount of oil, butter, all that stuff on there, so you got enough surface to keep that thing clean.
I would rather
you
just
should
be
practice,
Teflon.
Practice cutting some eggs. Chop, chop, chop. Bam.
Well,
Sure you get a lot of shells in it.
Katie comes out. What are all these? Like, it's just like a whole mountain. And I said, Katie, someone's got to eat these eggs. She eats them. They're all crunchy. She's like, there's shells in these. I'm like, well, yeah, I know. It's still learning.
Practice.
Yeah,
still learning.
It's egg.
Yeah,
you gotta eat the egg to enjoy the egg.
Okay. It tastes all right.
But what was funny is we were leaving the hibachi place, right? I stand up, right? I get up and I'm kind of, adjusting. And I look back behind me and I see this dude sitting there behind me. And I look and I say, no freaking way, right? This guy wearing the exact same flannel that I am wearing, right? The Dixon flannel, the Torrance, right?
Wow.
Right behind me. What are the freaking chances of that?
Yeah.
Literally. In a hibachi place,
I
right?
can't believe you wore the Torrance.
A niche
Same time,
flannel
same night,
at the
same
same
location.
time. And I look back behind me, so I tap him on the back. I'm like, "Hey, man, you got good taste in flannels." And his wife is there, and his other family members. His wife starts laughing. She's like, "I've been making fun of him the whole night." She's like, "It's so funny." She's like, "He thought he was so unique with his flannel, and then you're right there wearing the same one. That's hilarious."
Did you ask him his flannel count?
Well, and then that's when she says, how many do you have, by the way? How many of these flannels do you have?
Yes, that's even better.
And I said, do you want me to answer that honestly? And she's like, yes. And she like glares at him, right? I'm like, I'm thinking I'm coming up on like probably close to 30. I'm in the 20s right now. And she goes, well, that makes me feel a lot better. And he looks at me, he's like, I have 7 so far, but I just started collecting. He's like, I got my first one at Christmas. He's like, and I bought 7.
Wow.
He's like, I bought 7 since Christmas.
Yeah, that's a little much.
And I said,
she's put off because she saw just all that happening at
if
once.
he did
It
like
wasn't
2 months.
spread out at
If he
all.
did 3 a year, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 in 2 months?
Yeah.
That's one a week, baby.
That's,
You got a problem.
He's literally buying one a week.
$50. That's $50 of flannel. That's like $350 on flannel in 2 months.
That's I could see why she's upset.
So she
Did it
looks
wrong.
at him and she's like, oh my god. She's like, that's it. You can't get any more. She's like, don't get to that level. And I'm like, listen, guys, it is a dark path. It is a dark path. And I'm like, you think you'll say, I'm done. I'm not buying any more, right? But look at DVK. Look at Dylan Von Kleist, right? He's at what, 50?
Yeah, he
60?
started to sell them.
He has to start selling because he has to start making room. And they just started laughing. I said, yeah, they get you. And she's like, it's the emails. She's like, I bought him one, and now I get emails every week. But then I think, well, that's a handsome flannel. That might look good on him. So I'm like, trust me, dude. My wife does the same thing. I get it. And
what was she thinking this whole time?
Just
watching this go down.
Katie was just like, I'm so embarrassed. She's like, she's talking about flannels right now. So. But I thought that was funny though. Out of all the places I could have ate and where he got seated right behind me.
Torrance,
Torrance,
that's you could
odd
see
It would have been
Yeah.
one thing if you just both happened to have Dixons on, but it went further than that.
Yeah, it went further than that. So I thought that was pretty funny. And so then from there, I think it was like Sunday. Woke up and I said, today is the day. I'm going to go out and take the Evo for a nice long drive and go stretch its legs a little bit. Well, that didn't happen at that point because the battery's dead, and so I put that thing on the trickle charger.
Yeah.
We've had some cold nights. Typically, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
your garage isn't heated.
Well, it's got that baby battery.
Yeah.
It's literally
like a motorcycle battery.
Motorcycle battery inside that thing. So I made it work. But what I ended up doing was gave the Civic a wash. So far, an update on the G-Technic, the CSL and EXO combination. It's going pretty good. I've tried to give it some pretty good washes ever since installing it. It's been on there for about 4 months now. Hydrophobic properties are killer. I did have to polish out one spot that I ended up getting like this dent on that I had to do some amateur PDR on. Polishing out that area with just hyper polish did remove the coating on that particular area. Yellow pad, hyper polish. and I tried to level it back out again, not with more coating, but like with a C2V3, but you can actually tell it did not take and it did not stick. So I'll probably have to hit that area again. And I've also been thinking that I did some dry carbon and I hit it with CSL. The carbon sucked up the CSL in only certain spots. So what I need to do is I need to polish out that carbon again, and I'm actually going to use Aero Coat on that to give it a better, more thorough finish. I mean, I might actually just do that today and just hit it on there since the car's clean. But no, it's holding up really, really good. I will say that I have honestly been doing the best proper washing I can do on it. I have a little bit of micro marring. I have a little bit of swirling in certain areas, which could have been the combination of maybe it was a bad towel, maybe I didn't rinse off the area enough, but it's holding up, and so I'm happy with it. And basically, like I said before, I'm hoping that's one of the last times I'll have to coat the car. Yeah. However, if I do coat it again in the future, there is one particular coating I am interested due to the hardness, and we'll talk about that at a future time. And so, but did that, and then from there, I did go, and once the Evo was charged up, I did take it out to the HP building. Right, never been out to HP. Right, have you been out to HP?
Yeah. You're talking about on the rim.
I know
there,
where
right?
it is,
the
but
campus.
But I've driven by there. I had a girlfriend whose dad worked there, or mom would. So we.
It's how I get to work every morning. I drive
hey, how's it going?
We go. Say what's
quickest way.
So, but awesome place. Never been out to that campus. Right, massive.
Yeah.
And are you allowed to get in?
So you can drive in.
That's good.
It used to be gated. It
used to have
a security guard.
It used to have a
same with
security
Micron.
guard.
Like you
couldn't get into it.
Can get into Micron anymore.
And so now it's all completely open, and on a Sunday it's completely empty. But the coolest part about it, that building was built in the 70s, right? Maybe 70s, 80s.
It was late. Yeah, it was late 70s
right
or
around
80s.
there.
Yeah,
I'd
so
have to look it up.
It's so old school.
Yeah,
but like when you go to take photos around it, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to grab some pictures. It's got like a vibe, and I think Dane would like it because it's got like
vintage.
It's got like these
retro.
weird kind of like retro vibes in certain areas.
Oh yeah, no, Nick's right. It is brutalist architecture.
What's that?
Brutalist architecture is generally kind of like people think of. Dictatorships have like brutalist architecture.
Oh, it's like
it's kind of
German
like classic style.
Yeah.
But it got used in a lot of different places.
Yeah.
There's a lot of government buildings in the U.S. that use brutalist architecture.
It's just very
usually smaller
square.
Windows, big concrete shapes that look super intimidating.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, you get that. It's cool though. It looks cool. Some people think it's ugly. It's
got just some really cool like backdrops and sceneries and things like that where I didn't even know that existed. And so I went out, took some photos around there, and then went out and took it for a really good drive. Went up to Hidden Springs, did the loop, and stretched its legs a little bit. And then from there, got home and went over to my parents' house for a little bit of some steak.
Nice.
I got my cow.
Yeah.
Remember how
that's
I was
right.
telling you guys I got my cow, right?
You can get half, quarter?
I think what it was.
Did you get your freezer yet?
I think it ended up being like a sixth of a cow.
Okay. You didn't get your freezer though.
No, I didn't get my freezer. We shoved it all in my bottom freezer. It's full.
That's why you need the additional. Go this week. Make it a goal this week.
I don't even have room for my Egos.
That's what I'm saying. Head over, get your freezer. I kid you not, Anthony, it'll be the greatest thing you've ever owned.
Tell my wife to clean out the garage.
Just go get it.
No, I
get
can't. I need her to clean out the garage. I have no room for that right now.
Tell her she can park outside.
Ooh. Oh, I know. That won't go well.
Get the thing and say, hey, we need to make room for this. Come out here and help me move some stuff.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Get your freezer. I'm serious. You will love it.
But meat freezer's full, right? So we got we got some steaks, right? I think we got some flanks. We got some strips. We got a couple of New Yorks, right? We did not get any like filet mignon or anything in that batch. So maybe somebody else claimed that. I'm not sure how that worked. Yeah. But I have more ground beef than I know what to do with in my lifetime. I don't know what to do with all this ground beef. Yeah. Because I don't have a meat recipe for Anthony's wings or Tony's wings is not Tony's
Sloppy Joe's.
Oh,
just
crap.
What? He's eventually going to get really sad.
Ground beef,
by
Sloppy Joe's,
1,000
ranch burgers.
What do you think? I come up with my own Sloppy Joe sauce to really take it to the next level.
That'd be amazing.
It'd be another offering from my food.
You could do that.
Food services.
I like this.
Don't bother
also,
inviting me.
Ranch burgers. Make yourself take some of that hamburger.
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Put some eggs in it. Shredded cheese. Ranch seasoning packets.
Hidden Valley. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little HVR. Sprinkle that in. You mix that mixture all up.
Got yourself a patty.
Make yourself some hamburger
HBR.
patties.
HBR.
Make some hamburger patties.
Yeah.
Throw
Pretty
those
good.
on. Dude, you will go like, oh, these are the greatest little burgers I ever made.
Wow.
So I would take that, but I'd also beer batter it, and that's
You could do that
that's where
too,
you
Dane.
can just wind up looking like me. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah. I
So,
don't know why you got to pour it in beer, but it might help separate it.
So I got a ton of ground beef. But I went to
Yeah.
my parents' house for some steaks. They also have their own cow that they had bought, right? So we had some steaks there. Cooked up some. The thing
Your
is,
dad tell you to go get your meat freezer?
He told me. He said, "You got that cow, right?" And he said, "You need to get the
gotta
freezer."
get it.
And I said, "I don't have any room for this freaking freezer."
Yeah, put
And
it on the back patio.
everybody's so
put it out on the back patio.
consumed about this freezer. I don't know what it is.
Back patio freezer. That's all you need. Wrap
Anyway, but my parents, God bless them, they like to cook steaks on the grill.
Yeah,
right.
that's how I do it.
I know, but I'm not a grill steak guy. I like on the pan. I just think it tastes better,
You
right?
can put a pan on your grill.
Do you clean
Or
your grill
think about
regularly?
Do like what I do. Get yourself some man grates. Put those
Yeah.
man grates on your grill.
Yeah,
Then you got a nice piece of cast iron, heavy duty cast iron that you can cook on.
that'd be pretty nice. Yeah. So went over there, cooked steaks, had a good time, and then pretty much called it a night. So basically, ended up with a clean car, a car that actually got driven.
Wow.
Went out, took some good photos, and then
Nice.
just a nice relaxed weekend. But I am looking forward to this upcoming weekend, very much so.
Yeah.
Because let's just say a couple more sponsors kicked in.
Oh, nice.
that's
so
right.
so I have something new that's going to be nice to sit in.
Yeah.
Maybe after this weekend, I'll talk about on Monday. We'll see.
Nice.
Hopefully,
I
all
like
goes
it.
well.
Nice and grippy. Okay.
I like it. So, as you all know, it was my 41st
Yeah.
year of life.
was
Starting
that?
my 41st year of life on this planet.
Wow.
Wonderful 41st birthday celebration happened on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And
It
kids
started off a bit rocky, but then it turned
kids
out
made me toast.
better. Yeah.
You know, toast and some soda. And I was like, all right, cool. My mom walked in here. My mom had brought some snacks from my grandmother. Very exciting to have those. Not things that I eat, but she watches the show and said, we are on the UK cut. So she thought she'd get us some healthy snacks.
Very thoughtful.
Really didn't work, but at least you guys
No, we
enjoyed them.
didn't.
And then
we
they
didn't.
put
We
this
didn't.
in front of
Honestly,
us.
the ranch was very watery.
Yes, that's how
I
it is.
was a little alarmed at how watery that
I
ranch
feel
all
like
right.
He
It's
held
all
it
right.
up and it
That
was
was
Mandor
a-
would
it was a
complain about
tray.
this
It's all right.
watery ranch. Yeah.
But so nice little birthday. You know, came home, had a BT cake, ate some Chicago Connection pizza with the kids on Wednesday.
Cheese
Delightful.
only, or what do you
Got
go with?
cheese and then a cheese with sausage.
So you just like
boy.
cheese because that's what Chicago Connection
discussion
is
came
pure
up
cheese.
twice
Pure cheese
last
and
week.
sauce.
That
It's
is-
a deep dish.
Do you want to see me lose some weight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about a pound of cheese. Anthony would probably bleed out. So anyway,
Yikes.
got all that done. Opened my gifts. It was great. It was nice. You know, Carly got me a apron
Yeah.
for forging, for working outside, the blacksmithing. So right now I'm looking for a patch to cover because, fun fact, the Amazon photo shows a beautiful canvas looking apron.
Okay.
Very nice.
Blank.
Wonderful pockets.
What is it in reality?
This one is the same one, only it's got a name screen printed onto the chest from the company that manufactures it.
Okay.
They just screen printed it on a random spot, and it says "Sweetie Son."
One more time?
Sweetie Son.
Oh, how could your mom not want
Not
you to keep
not
that?
OSUN.
Oh.
So no idea what the company is, but Carly thought
Okay.
that was hilarious, and she was like, "I am so sorry." And she showed me. She's like, "It doesn't have it on the Amazon listing." I said, "We'll find a spot." So looking for.
I'm going to take a wild guess it may have been a dropship situation. or
I don't
something,
know,
maybe.
but anyway, when she got it, she saw it when she got ready to wrap it. She thought it was printed on the bag, on the inside
Okay.
of the bag that was wrapped around. So she was like, "Oh, it must be the company." We undid everything, and no, that's printed on the. That's on the.
You just
canvas,
have it say
so.
"Kiss the Cook." Classic.
Yeah.
Can't go
So
wrong.
anyway, gonna get a little patch for that, but that was nice to have. Got some money from my mom,
Also nice.
and so Saturday came. Augie and I used that money. Headed over to Harbor Freight.
Boy, what'd you get this time?
Well, we wandered around Harbor Freight. They were having a 10% off everything in the store sale,
Okay.
and got to help a gentleman because one of the assistants there was trying to teach a guy how to buff his car, and was telling him to pick up the rotary here, use these products, and I'm sure those 5-inch pads will work on a 7-inch backing plate rotary. And this poor guy was very confused.
The second
didn't
he
speak
turns
a lot
the
of
machine
English,
over, it's just a saw blade.
and was talking, and he goes, "I just want to make my car nice and shiny and polished," and he's like, "It's black."
Card.
and I walked up after looking at my stuff. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna say you should probably take this machine, grab these pads, grab that product over there, knock yourself out." And the other guy's like, "Oh yeah, I guess you could do that." And I said, "This is what I do for a living." And he was like, "Oh, okay, well, cool, thanks, man." And so anyway, Augie and I ended up picking up a belt sander, but a stand-up belt sander with an adjustable 90-degree adjustable arm, and a side kind of drum sander, so we can have set it on the side there and sand an edge, and then we can also set it along so we can do. So basically, it's 2 sanders in one.
Right.
Very nice. Very excited. Augie looked the part, cruising around Home Depot on Saturday morning. He picked out his own outfit. Nick's got a picture he'll probably put up of Augie wandering around, checking out things at Harbor Freight. Then, like we said, cold Saturday.
Yeah, it's
right?
cold, man.
Very, very cold.
Chilly.
So,
Yeah.
there's Og checking out all the tools. So here's what we did. Those are too many pictures. Now,
It's cycling.
Carly and I headed over to our friends of the Rag Company. Corporate sponsors. Home to Suites by Hilton.
Wow. Yeah.
Went over there and got our hotel room, walked in, and the gracious team there had this
got
whole
your Swedish
package ready to
fish.
go with a happy birthday card. The whole team signed it, said, "Happy birthday, Levi. I hope you're having a great time." So Amy and Jen are the gals that we work with. So the whole team there signed it. Very impressed. I thought that was such a nice little touch.
Yeah.
We were on the 6th floor, King Suite, very nice. Took the kids swimming for a couple hours. So there's from the bed over. Nice little hotel room.
Yeah.
So took the kids swimming for a couple hours in the pool there at the hotel because it's an indoor pool.
Right.
Also very much designed for children.
Okay.
So had a blast with that. Took them back up to the room, dried them off, changed their clothes. Took them over to my mom's, dropped them off. Okay. My mom's, they spent the night with her. She had a whole bunch of stuff. Took them to Chick-fil-A, all that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Made it back. Picked up some Wilder for dinner.
Ooh.
Got some pizza. Got some meatballs.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Came back to the hotel because it's 1 block away. Just drove over, pulled out front, picked up my order, went back to the hotel. Fun part about our Home to Suites friends.
Yeah.
Every room, right, every floor has a parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes it really convenient.
So I just drove up to the 6th floor, pulled up, walked into the door, and was already in my room.
Perfect.
Done.
Typically, you have to pay more for that.
Typically, you do have to pay more for that, but one of the great things about the Rag Company is the discounts we get through Home to Suites by Hilton.
So if you guys have any interest in coming and visiting us here at the Rag Company headquarters or the Rag Company Media Studio, make sure to contact Levi at levi@theragcompany.com to get information on our corporate rates at Home to Suites by Hilton.
Guests
This has been, or guests.
Guests of the Rag
Guests of
Company
the Rag
podcast and Rag Company YouTube channel stay at Home to Suites by Hilton. So
Wow.
I can all but
I will
promise
say-
you will get a better rate there than you will get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
but not as good as Dane's spare bedroom.
Well,
or
so-
his kitchen table.
Yeah,
that's,
it's kitchen table,
that's
but-
out of season right now. So.
no, but so really nice little room right downtown. It was fun. So Carly and I literally just sat on the couch, ate that pizza, ate those meatballs, watched some TV, and that's all we did. It was
Perfect.
the perfect, just lazy chill. We had that huge king size bed, went to bed, and woke up. Great night's sleep. Carly loved the bed. She was like, "This is actually a really nice bed." She loved the
Get this?
pillows.
Looking for the
Yeah,
tag.
that's about what I was going to do because I was like, I am in the market for a new bed. I have to find out. But then we got up, went and had breakfast, had some biscuits and gravy there at the Home to Suites
Lovely.
downstairs, and then grabbed all our stuff, checked out, headed over to the house, picked up the kids, came back home, and then just had a lazy Sunday. We literally did
out to be pretty nice.
absolutely nothing. Friday night, we did nothing. Saturday, just went and ran an errand and then went to the hotel. Then Sunday, just kind of hung out. My parents came over. My dad and my stepmom came over, brought me some gifts. This beautiful hometown flannel, right?
Wow.
This
Looks
Dixon.
great.
Yeah, very nice. And then also
Very
got me
handsome,
a
yeah.
Forge jacket.
Yeah.
The Dixon Forge jacket.
Which is
so
it's a flameproof jacket, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
all right.
I'm very excited
Yeah.
about it.
How
'cause
could
it's
you
very
not
nice.
get that?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to test it out though, but very excited about that jacket. So that was super cool of them to bring those to me, and then they got us some cupcakes, and so we had cupcakes with them and just kind of hung out. And then Augie and I cooked up some burgers last night.
Okay.
Got some cheeseburgers going on the grill, got them all good there, and then that's what we had for dinner. We also found, so I don't know if you guys have tried this. So I feel like a fat kid because of this, but here's the thing. We got our air fryer, right?
Well, I'm a fan of air fryers.
Every
yeah.
every story
I'm
starts
a
this
fan of
way.
air
Here's
fryers.
the thing. Those air fryers, the companies nowadays, if you go through the frozen food section, you can pick up some of Red Robin's signature fries, throw them in the air fryer.
Yeah.
You can pick up a bag of Arby's curly fries,
Oh,
throw those in the air fryer. So you know what we did? Bought a bag of the Arby's curly fries, threw those in the air fryer, had those with our cheeseburgers. Now,
wow.
the way I cook my cheeseburgers, 6 minutes aside. That's all. They are pink and dripping when they come out, and you have never seen my 9-year-old annihilate a pretty much rare burger, a very, very medium rare burger. And she was like, this is so, like, Hadley was just engulfing this thing. It was amazing to watch. Because even I was like, that's kind of pink. And Carly's like, well, we'll see if it's all right. As long as
Let's
it's
see
not
how
cold
sick
in the
the
middle,
kids
we're
get.
okay.
Oh, no.
And yeah, we were all fine. But we all ate it. That's how I like my burgers. I cannot abide a burned, crispy burger.
No.
Nothing good about that. My brother-in-law's a big crispy burger kind of guy. Likes to cook them till they're charred. And
At
they're
that point,
black in
just
the middle.
eat the charcoal. It's about the same.
That's right. That's how I feel sometimes.
Burger King's for.
Yeah. So anyway, it was so that was our little weekend. We just kind of chilled out and then just watched some TV, hung out. But I was cold this weekend. I don't know about. I think
was
it's just
freezing.
my
Yeah.
age now at 41.
It was cold. It was
But
just
my
a cold
hands were
weekend.
cold. My arms were like I almost went out to do some foraging because I thought, oh, Sunday I'm not doing anything. I should do it. Walked outside and I was like, it's just too cold. Even though I'm sitting in front of a
I was gonna say, hold
1,000
up, but
degree.
you're right next to the heat.
I'll be
of a
standing
forge.
next to a 1,000-degree furnace.
If that's
literally.
not enough, I don't know what.
And
is.
I was like, I don't want to turn it on because it's going to take a
Oh.
little while to warm up, and I don't want to. But anyway, that was me.
So one thing I did though, I forgot to mention. I'm watching this show and binge watching. Have you ever seen the show Good Girls? So Levi, think you would like it. I
Okay.
think you would like it. Basically, it's about like I'm sure maybe some other people have heard of it. You start it off right, and it starts off like, okay, what's going on? It's one of those shows where every single show ends with a cliffhanger, right? And you have to watch the next one.
Okay.
So it's easy to binge, and a lot of time will pass, and you will before you realize what's going on. Basically, synopsis here, what it is: 3 mothers, right? Basically, all in bad financial situations, right? One of them's just broke. One of them has a kid that needs like a transplant, and the other one has a really sleazebag husband, right? So they end up like robbing a place, right? Basically, robbing a place, find out the place they robbed took some money, probably shouldn't have been the money that they have taken. Next thing you know, they get involved with this entire like gang situation, and next thing you know, you have these 3 moms that are like doing gang stuff and being like bad, right? And you're like, what is going on? I think that you and Carly would particularly like that show.
And it's a
think,
show.
I think it's a show.
Okay, because I've seen a number of movie plots based on this.
It's on
type of thing.
Netflix. It's a show. It gets really good. My favorite, Cricket's in it, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah,
So,
Rickety Cricket.
Rickety Cricket?
Rickety Cricket is in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He's also a sleazebag in this show. But there's some good. It's definitely it gets you, and before you know it, you're hooked. And what's nice is there's 3 seasons out.
Oh,
Right.
okay, so you got some time,
Start,
yeah.
so you can just binge it.
So
Nice.
this week we were talking. You said you were planning on this weekend binging the rest of what we do in the shadows. It didn't happen.
Didn't happen. I got.
He
caught
doesn't
up on
even
Good
have that
Girls.
much left to go.
I got caught up.
know.
I only have like 4 episodes, but I got caught up on Good Girls. Didn't have any time to watch. But you know, we'll see what happens. So one thing I did want to talk about here. So some kind of coverage of things that are going to be going on in the upcoming weeks. We do have detailing kickoff happening very soon.
Yeah.
Right. So kicking off detailing season. We are getting into that 50-degree weather here in Boise this week, actually, believe it or not.
It's going to be nice. We're very excited about it.
50 degrees to an Idahoan is like, sorry, I guess I can't. Well, yeah, I am. I'm half my life's been here. I can say that. Is like coming out of winter, right? Everybody's wearing like shorts, and you're like, everybody's out and about doing things. Like it's 50 degrees, and we're like, it's summer, baby. It's
might as well.
My dad literally walked in yesterday and was like, "It's almost time to go camping again." He was all excited. I was like, "That furnace doesn't work in that trailer. We got to get that fixed." Like,
as soon as the sun goes down, it's back to the 20s.
Yeah,
again,
it's still gonna be cold.
It is funny though. You see how many spirits lift the second we hit those 50s, because it really does feel like really nice out. And that's
those
when
in the north understand.
Yeah, that's when shorts weather starts.
I like the cold, but I want it accompanied by the precipitation. I want the snow if it's going to be cold. I want the cold to be worth my while, so I want that snow there. If it's cold and there's no snow, that's depressing.
Yeah. But so I would say that, we have some good weather coming up. So we're doing detailing kickoff, which is going to be a sale here very soon, hopefully. And that'll be able to get some people started. If you're new into detailing, or if you're wanting to restock on some other stuff, now would be a good time to do so. And also check out the new products that will be on their way soon. So one thing that I do want to highlight that we tested out last week, and kind of much more in depth on than we did previously, was Soul.
Yeah.
So
that got
Soul,
a lot of people
PNS
interested in
Inspiration Soul coating,
which is technically it is a 1-year coating, right? With the most like probability that it could make it up to 2 years, even though PNS doesn't claim that. It is a 1-year coating. It is extremely easy to use, but I feel like that is going to be a really good product for people.
Very easy to use, very easy to wipe off, very simple.
I would say, honestly, just as easy, if not easier, than gloss coat.
Because you're always looking for like that one you can introduce people to. Yeah. That's like, okay, you want to get into coatings, start here, and then you can build.
Yeah,
up that.
Soul was simple enough and easy enough that you could do that, and had no problems with it.
Yeah.
And it's same application in terms of any other coating. In terms of all your prep work that you want to do, and then your paint prep spray, and then your application. But we were able to do Levi's Suburban. In our live video that we did, we were able to do half of a side there in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
Yeah, and we literally did the whole side of one side of the Suburban. I went to town, got it on there, and then I set the bottle down. Anthony came behind me, and I started on the other side. And the only thing was that's a ton. That is like the maximum amount of area, because we did all the glass, we did the whole body up and down, like. By the time we got to that middle door, we had just a spot that had already started to cure. But all we had to do was put another coat back on, and we were able to wipe all that off. Yeah. It was no big deal. But to have that big of a panel, that's a lot of feet, square footage to be able to coat and then literally wipe off in that amount of time frame.
That's about as big a vehicle as you're going to be putting
That's very, very impressive for customers. Yeah. And like we said, the hardest thing with a lot of coatings is you don't get that chance to go back. You don't get that chance to go back and reapply. And that was what set gloss coat apart, was because it was like, if you have any more, you just wipe it. Oh, okay. It made it a lot easier. So having that ability to do that was really good. So very excited about that.
And so that'd be something for people to look into if you are just getting into coating like that, or have never dipped your toes into it. And if you're already on the fence of maybe doing like a spray on coating, or maybe if you've seen like the graphene sprays, you've seen all those type of things, this would be something that we could absolutely sign off on 100% and say, hey, we believe in this product, and it's really easy to use for any type of beginner, and you get a crap ton of it.
You get a lot of it.
That Soul bottle is so freaking massive that you could do 2, 3, maybe even 4 cars with how much product there is. So
there you go.
You can coat everything you wanted to.
What's our price there, Levi?
$181.90.
So it's $181.
Almost $200.
Almost $200,
which is
right?
a lot, but
think about it like this, though. Like I'm telling you,
that's
it's
almost
like
4
cars there. So when you do the math, you're actually looking at probably closer to like $50 an application. So this is one of those things where if you have a fleet of vehicles, or if you're not a fleet, if you personally own, let's just say 3 or 4 vehicles, and you're wanting to get into something,
coating on all of them to start the year off. That's something very easy, very simple, and it's something that even if, like they said, if you're just doing a wash on the outside and you think your car's in pretty good shape and you're not all that worried about it, you could coat it. Yeah. Just wash it, coat it. It's a 1-year coating, but you got enough protection.
Yeah.
And if it's something that's not gonna, like I could have done that to my cousin's truck that I did 2 weeks ago. Could have put Soul on it for him because it would have lasted longer. He's planning on coming back in a year, but that would be a good. He would have enjoyed that. You know, he wasn't worried about the scratches, just wanted it protected. That's a good product for that.
Well, and during that video, I had several questions come in where people are like, "Oh, you're putting it on top of a wrap, so it's okay for other plastics and things like that." They're wondering what it's safe to go over.
Yeah, safe on everything.
Everything except for the front windshield. I mean, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is the number of cars that you can do.
Yeah.
So I don't want people going to the price and going like, "Oh my gosh, it's so much." Break it down.
Yeah.
Cost per use. You can
What's
fit.
the size of that bottle there, Nick?
100 mLs.
So
Oh, it is 100 ml.
It's 100 mLs. Now, remember, most of your G Technic coatings come in a 30 or a 60 or 50 ml bottle. Yeah. So you've got to remember, you're basically getting 2 of those 50 ml bottles in one. So price-wise, you're looking at something that is quite more comparable.
Yeah.
But the ease and use and the amount you use, you could all day long. Get 4, maybe even 6 sedans out of it. Coupes.
One other thing about it, and I'm not sure if you guys know off the top of your head, but somebody's obviously going to have the question, maybe if they buy it for personal use, well, that's a big bottle. I have a few cars I could put it on. How long is it going to last the second I crack that lid?
No, they said it's about 6 months.
I think they said about 6 months.
Okay,
but you could do.
You can put it on a refrigerator.
Yeah, you could put it on your refrigerator. You could put it on your.
Put it in your refrigerator.
Put it in the refrigerator. Store. Keep it out of the light. They said the UV is the hardest thing on it.
Okay,
but here's the deal: you could coat your lawnmower. You could coat your air conditioner outside. Maybe you have some furniture, some plastics, or something out there you want to take care of. Maybe buy some of them new plastic Adirondack chairs from Home Depot, you know.
Coat those.
Drove by there yesterday and saw them sitting out there. Pick out a couple of those, coat those with some of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you could do, and that's how versatile this coating is and how easy it is. So kind of really, it's also nice to just have for those situations where you're like, I'm going to do some of this, or I'm going to play with this, or I'm going to do that for this customer.
Yeah.
So
I had one thing I wanted to introduce because we are kind of at the tail end of this, but we did have an extra story to tell, and it wasn't any of our
weekend
particular
adventure
story to tell. I want to bring Gabe in here, and I think
Gabe,
we got a
come on
microphone
down.
set up for him here, just down below. Gabe,
Wow, our
come
very
on
own
in.
Gabe Garcia.
Come in here.
Hey,
Gabe. So you're probably wondering what the title's all about, and you're probably wondering, oh my God, did Anthony get another Civic? Not quite.
it wasn't Anthony that did it.
Yeah.
It's
All
tight.
right. After getting set up in here, what's up, guys? How are you doing?
What's up, dude?
It's interesting being on the show.
I
Considering
imagine.
we're always
A little different
behind.
this side of the screen.
It's a little bit different. So, you guys had some pretty awesome weekends. I had a really interesting weekend as well.
Okay.
So this started a couple of weeks. I threw out my back, and then I got my.
You're stuck on the couch.
I was stuck on the couch. And you guys all know what happens when you get stuck on the couch. You go into a black hole of doing searching.
Start looking for things to buy. Maybe.
You're like, what else can I add to my life that I don't need?
Yeah.
You already have a lot of cars.
I'm a big Toyota fan, and what happened was I did a search, and I found I just do searches in neighboring cities. So Seattle, Portland, So I did a search on Civics in Portland, and I love the low mileage Civics. And what happened was one was for sale at one of the dealerships, and I was like, holy cow, this is pretty dang awesome. So I looked more into it. One owner, really awesome. So talked to my wife and said, hey, I know this is crazy. What are your thoughts if I look at the Civic? And my wife is pretty awesome. She's just like, I trust you. So if you want to go and do something fun, do it. So I did the search. I called them, asked about the price. They were not budging on the price. So anyhow, I just let it set. And then last week we had guests in, and I called again because I noticed they still had the car.
Yeah.
They finally got the price to match what I wanted. So I bought it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, and one of the key things I'm going to say here that you said, your wife trusts you.
Yeah.
She does.
Because why, Gabe? Every car you've sold.
So, yeah. So
Every car you've sold, you've either broken even or made money.
Yeah.
In the sense that you buy a car, you drive it for a number of years, and you sell it for the same amount that you bought it for. So for her, it's never a loss. So, gentlemen, if you're listening to this and you want to know how to do this game right, don't ever have a loss on a car. Otherwise, you won't be able to keep buying stuff.
That is true. Things to avoid having a loss in a vehicle.
Don't buy a Jaguar.
Don't buy a Jaguar. Don't buy an Audi. Don't buy a BMW.
Yeah.
Probably don't buy a Hyundai. No offense, Levi. It's just the Hyundai.
We can make this just a lot shorter by saying
drive
what
them
you
into the
should
ground.
Yeah, you gotta drive a Hyundai.
Toyotas
Hyundai
and
and Kia,
Hondas.
you drive into the ground.
Right.
Yeah, that is a
Right.
Yeah.
Toyotas and Hondas.
I would say Toyota. I would say Honda. I would say honestly, even the Jeeps are in a weird situation where Jeeps are holding a resale value. I would even say that.
Acuras,
and honestly, I'd probably say trucks at this point in time right now
Yeah.
are all
Used pickup
holding their
trucks are
value
hot
extremely well. I mean, some are even gaining value.
And it
depending on
really
the truck.
depends on where you live too.
Yeah,
right?
I think it depends on where you live.
But no, so what happened was Friday I got out of work a little early. My dad and I drove to Portland. We got there. We drove through sleet, snow, rain, everything. We got there at about midnight.
Okay.
Woke up the next morning, had breakfast with our friend Keith Duplessis from PNS.
Nice.
We went to Tom's Pancake House, went to the dealership, signed the papers, picked up the car.
Nice.
Wow.
The struggle was just getting it here. Because
Well-
we had to go to northwest Portland to get the trailer, and we were in Beaverton, Oregon. So we added a lot of time.
Sure.
And we got the car loaded, finally, trailer back down to Beaverton, got the car loaded, got home at about midnight again
On Saturday?
on Saturday. So got home, unloaded the car yesterday. It was the first time I drove it. So the car, the reason why I went after the Civic is it was a one-owner Civic EX, 33,000 miles.
Yeah.
That's
It's amazing.
5-speed.
That's essentially
Power
a
windows
new
and
car
door
still.
locks?
Power everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess Gabe, what made you want a Honda Civic from 2000?
A 2000
yeah,
Honda
what-
Civic.
What a loaded
I was
question.
watching. I
why
was
would you-
watching this channel. Next day, no, that's the wrong one. No, I'm just kidding. No, to be honest, guys, I got to give this guy kudos because he has his Honda Civic. He drives it to work every day, and I'm like, man, that car looks awesome. It just
Gabe
and then
says he would sell his Tacoma for that car.
well, and then
All the time.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but one thing that I liked was Anthony is very passionate about his car and talking about it. It was inspiring. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that is really cool. So when he was telling me about the history of how Honda was rolling the EX and the SI off the line, I was like, that's pretty dang cool. Just hearing the story of how you explain it.
Basically how trim models are determined and things like that, and when
Exactly.
it comes to production, how they made certain things and why that particular chassis, worked for so many.
I feel like we need to have a podcast on that.
Well, not really, and so
how
but
Hondas
basically, talking about the different versions of these
Yeah.
things, because basically what you have is you have pretty much the best of the '90s kind of built into Honda
Does Matt
around that
Mormon
area.
know that you know so much about Civics?
Yeah, he does.
I feel like this would be a great.
But the thing is like I don't know
Obsessed Garage
everything about I don't know
podcast.
everything about Hondas, but I know a lot about Civics of that particular generation. So I don't know everything.
Yeah.
But like I've just had these
Yeah.
cars for so long that I just know about those particular things. But I'm not first off, I'm not a mechanic. I'm also not a pro at every single little thing. But I noticed
you
that
are a
I
Honda
noticed,
nerd.
I noticed the weird like Doug
He
DeMiro
does his research.
things about that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But anyway,
quirks
so
and features and
so
what
so I
have you.
appreciate that. I'm glad that you have joined the team now. So
Yeah.
what are your plans now that we have a little bit of time left? What are your plans for the
So
Civic?
in the short amount
So
of time,
bone stock. Right now, it's got hubcaps on it. It's got
So-
pinstripes on it. It's got door protectors on it.
yeah. So I don't want to hot rod it out. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to go Obsessed Garage crazy on it, or even Anthony Fisher crazy. I mean, he
that
did.
crazy.
It's
all tasteful
all
mods,
tasteful.
those are-
But I'm gonna try to keep it as bone stock as possible, with a couple of variations. I want to get the dents popped out because there's a couple of little dings being parked in the garage. I want to get the windows tinted. I would really like to find a set of SI wheels in that generation to put them on. I like the Continental tires that we got for the Subaru, so I'm thinking either Continentals or possibly Pirellis on those rims.
You also consider maybe Nito tires.
Oh,
make
Nito.
sure-
Or Nito
Japanese
tires.
tires.
Or Nito tires.
You wanna stay true to
And then I I did my first buy as far as parts. I bought a deck, a trunk with an SI.
Spoiler already attached.
So that way we can do a whole swap on it.
Yeah.
without
And-
messing
and-
with the
yeah.
original.
Spoiler alert! It's the same color as the car.
Perfect.
So just stay tuned. It's kind of something fun for our team, which is also another reason why I bought it.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We're going to have more videos, hopefully, on that. And I did some vlogging on the way that I want to share with you guys and everybody else. So
Good. We'll be able to turn that into a video. Maybe
Yeah,
it shows
yeah.
up on the channel.
Like I said,
eventually.
Jag Venture 2.0.
There
Jag
we go.
Venture
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah.
But and then it's all crushed out with Civic.
Maybe you'll actually
Civic
see it
Venture.
this time.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, I had that project, and then I looked on the server, and I can't find it anymore. It makes no sense.
All right, Dane.
It's somewhere in there.
Oh,
It's
Dane.
somewhere.
On that note, take it away, Dane.
All right, guys. Well, Gabe, thanks for coming in, telling your story, and we look forward to what happens with the Civic. Anthony, your Civic's already nice. We don't need to talk about that. Maybe you'll get a Civic one
Need
of
to
these
buy a
days.
beater.
Who knows?
Help me find a $500 turd.
All right. Could be fun. Don't expect anything from me. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Obviously, if you're not subscribed, go and do that. Drop the subscribe button and make it say subscribed. Give it the D. Moving along. We are done. So, guys, later.
See ya.
See you guys.